Welcome back, boys. Today we have one from Akkad Daily. The British state is the enemy of England. Let's check it out.
So I thought we'd talk about what's happened in Epping recently. I don't know when this will be uploaded because the internet here is actually terrible for uploading videos. But basically, yesterday, my time, is now the 18th of July. There was a big riot in Epping. Well, not even that big, actually. But there was a riot in Epping, and I went to The Guardian to find out why that riot happened. As you can see, far-right supporters attacked police after protest against Essex Hotel for asylum seekers. It's like, really? They just saw asylum seekers in hotels and were like, right, not having that, which, okay, phone-based, but like, okay, what happened? Well, far-right supporters, violence erupted, hundreds of people, local people, including women and children, were gathered. Right, okay, so it's just angry locals because something happened. Let's keep mining our way through this Guardian article and see if we can find out what exactly happened that has actually made people really upset with what's going on. Protests outside the hotel began peacefully. Police have been identifying suspects for vehicle damage, counter-demonstrators, crowd-throwing projectiles, police in riot gear, criminal violence, assaults on security staff, treatment in hospital for injuries. What the fuck happened, Guardian? Get to the point! Stop fucking smearing everyone and tell us why they were there. All the way down. Men in treatment for hospital injuries, right. Tension.
Usually, if something like this happens, there must have been a reason for this. Some kind of crime or something must have been committed. Something heinous must have happened.
Were high ahead of the latest appearance in court on Thursday of an asylum seeker who is charged with 3 counts of assault. Hadush Gerbaslazy Kebatu, 38, from Ethiopia. Right, so a foreign fucking rapist was there raping apparently 3 different people, or sexually assaulting 3 different people, and eventually we get to the point that people are pissed off that the government of the United Kingdom has decided that England can be offered up as a haven for every rapist on earth. Right? That's what happened. And so lots of people were going out with like banners that...
From everything I've seen, England is like the biggest shithole you can be in. I would never fucking go there.
Protect our kids.
Anywhere. People say, oh, it's just London. No.
Yeah, no kidding, right. So child rapists, right? So The Guardian, what this is burying the lead so far down in this. What this is active defense of child rapists from The Guardian and actively stigmatizing the local people who don't want their children raped by men who shouldn't even be here. That's what this boils down to, isn't it? My God, man, I'm sorry for getting so angry, but like, every day we see this stuff. As you can imagine, because this wasn't a Black Lives Matter protest, the Stasi went in like absolute bulls in china shops. Just, a bunch of white English working class people are protesting. Well, we better go in there and knock their fucking teeth out, which is actually what happened to one protester. Now, of course, I'm not going to show you any of the video because YouTube thinks that that's wrong, that I would publish things that everyone else has published. But here you are, you can see the guy holding his tooth in his hand because the riot police has just knocked it out with a fucking shield. And then, again, like, they rushed in their Stasi vans and ran this guy over. You can see him being in the process of being run over. And it's just like, oh, right, okay. So as far as the police are concerned, the lives of these protesters are worth nothing because these protesters are objecting to a foreign, non-white child rapist and Nina. How dare you not support our imported paedophiles? Scream the police. Get fucked, man. I'm sick of it. They're just doing their job. That's not good enough. Actually, we know that that's not good enough. But moreover, they are trained to hate the English working class. Right? They are trained to think of themselves better. And in fact, can't help but notice.
Yeah, man, you got some memes on your phone, get thrown in fucking jail. Your fucking grandma or grandpa will get fucking arrested for a Facebook meme. Like, you're fucked.
Seems to be a woman driver. Anyway, I hope he's okay. She should be fired. Anyway, I hope he's okay. She should be fired. And frankly, this whole thing, I mean, the whole point is that they are deeply afraid of the English working class just rising up. This is the thing that haunts.
It's not just like the grape of kids and stuff some of these people do. It's even if your kids go to school, I would imagine, with how difficult things have gotten, your kids probably get bullied and shit in school too by these like migrants.
It's the nightmares of Keir Starmer. This is why after Southport he came down so hard on them. And honestly, I haven't heard anything from Starmer about this yet, but he'll probably come out the next day or two and be like, right, yeah, turbo courts, 24 hours a day, we are going to put you in fucking Borstal, son. You know, I'm a hard bastard, meaning I have absolutely no remorse to the people that I hurt. That's what he means when he says this.
Bro, I think heads should be fucking rolling. How much like the British fucking government has betrayed their own people.
And he's going to come after you. He is going to come after you. Just be aware and make sure that you plead not guilty. Don't ever just plead guilty. The system is not on your side. It is not interested in treating you with kid gloves. It wants to hurt you. Anyway, this was the picture that I thought just really summarised the whole thing. And as you can see in the tweet here, the British state is the enemy of England. And honestly, I just don't see how it could be any other way. How you can interpret this in any other way. Remember, the British state is a continuity from the British Empire. It never fell. The institutions are the same institutions. They contain the same mindset. They are still interested in importing in the remnants of the empire so they can govern over their non-British subjects and still feel like they're important on the world stage. You hear this all the time. They're like, oh, I think Britain's best days are ahead of it. It's like, mate, we used to run a quarter of the globe. A quarter of all of humanity used to be under the purview of Britain. I don't think we're going to get...
Compared to what the British Empire was, nowadays, Britain is a fucking joke.
Reach those heights again, to be honest. And you know what? We don't even need to try anymore. Now what we should be doing is making sure that Britain is a lovely place to live, not importing the fucking scum detritus of the world and paying for them to live here and rape our children, again, at our expense. Like, that's not how we make a good country. And the people in charge are doing this because they don't know what else to do. They think this is what morality is. They think they're still carrying the white man's burden. They think that they can save the world from itself by just bringing it all here. And that's, I mean, crazy. But, you know, that's the older British imperial mindset. We have to save the rest of the world. However, I have the sort of parochial English mindset of, fuck the rest of the world, not my problem. They want an independence. They have it. Now they can all fuck off back to whatever dark lands they came from and stay there. I'm not judging. You go ahead. Not my problem. I don't want that here. Right? And that's what the people of Epping are saying. We don't want this here. There's no reason it has to be here. What has to be is actually this is our country for us and not for them. And foreign rapists don't even get to come in the country, actually. You know, there's no reason we have anyone from Eritrea or Ethiopia or any... These people are not contributing to the country in any way, shape or form. They are exploiting us. They shouldn't be here. We should send them home. But anyway, like I said, this picture perfectly brings out exactly what the crux of the conflict is. The British state is exploiting England as a bank of resources to try to save the rest of the world from itself. But I'm sorry, that ship has sailed. The rest of the world can't be saved from itself. And we are not just a resource bank that can be exploited for their benefit. You had protests like this, where you can see it's English flags. This is the English people feeling that they are under attack from their own government. And this lady, she just says, well, look, I'm just an English woman. I'm just normal, tax-paying, law-abiding citizen. Why are you doing this to us? Why are we the subject of this campaign of hate against the native people of the country? And the answer is because they think you're not going to be violent. If they thought that you were going to chimp out and start smashing things up, then they wouldn't do it because they'd be afraid. And as Matt Goodwin points out, it's entirely legitimate for the British people to protest. The people who are doing this to us are the extremists. The people who are responding to the rape of their own children and the dispossession of the English people from England are not the extremists. They're actually very moderate people who are having extreme things done to them by an administration that frankly hates the country. And we don't have to stand for this. We don't have to continue like this. And when we win, we're going to undo all of this stuff. When we win, we are going to make sure that the people who are responsible for this are just pariahs. Absolute pariahs. How dare you do this to us? Anyway, as you can see here, the police decided to march in a bunch of shitlib lefty counter-protesters. Look at them escorting them, the renter mob with their pre-printed banners, and obviously the thugs with their little face masks on. The fuck are these guys? What have they turned up for? Sorry, there was was it Eritrean or Ethiopian migrant, 38-year-old man, who raped at least 3 children, or tried to rape 3 children, and you've turned up to protest his right to rape children? Like, what are you doing? Who the fuck are you? Why are you here? And why is it that, as you can see here, the police are loading you up into their vans to give you a lift home? Like, what is going on here? And the answer is actually that the British state does control these rental mobs. It does fund these rental mobs. This is what Connor pointed out on his Tomlinson Talks back in the day. I'll leave the link in the description, because this is entirely relevant, that it has a network of programs, PR firms, and activists and lobby organizations that it can just pump out and say, no, look, the people don't agree with this because we've got a renter mob that we are going to protect and instruct to oppose fascism, bro. Because fascism is not wanting your children to be raped in 2025. So you got conservative MPs who are just like, oh, it's completely understandable. People are angry about this, but this is an entirely unacceptable way to behave. And it's like, yeah, that's going to be epitaph on your tombstone. No one cares what a Conservative MP has to say about any of these things, because 99% of the time, they're going to have been the source of the problem. Then you get the sort of 2016 feminist perspective on this, which somehow still archaically exists in our institutions. Jess Phillips was on LBC, and when Tom Swarbrick pointed out to her that Afghans were 22 times more likely to rape someone than a native British person, Jess Phillips was like, well, what country doesn't have patriarchy and misogyny? It's not Afghan men, it's just all men that are the problem. And it's like, okay, well, why are we allowing a single male immigrant into the country then, if all men are the problem? But obviously, she knows, and we know she knows, and she knows that we know.
Yeah, we've seen more and more like women coming on the internet, or just in general, complaining about the safety in these countries. That now they're complaining about the migrants and the crimes they commit. But it's like, who the fuck voted for this shit? Like, I'm just asking, who the fuck voted for that shit? Because sure as fuck weren't the men who overwhelmingly goes left and continues to go left and vote left, that brings about this fucking trash. The thing is, to fix this shit, you gotta ask, like, who... Now everybody can vote, basically. Everybody can vote. But it's like, look at what that shit has wrought. Look at what weak people are voting for. This goes for men and women. Weak people in general. Women got the vote, and they vote their way. Weak men vote their way, but I think it's too easy. I think it's too easy. There needs to be some kind of institution. Oh, no, not institution. I mean, there needs to be a change. And I think the only way, can we do it like fucking Rome did? Like military service? Like blood in. Like you bleed for the country, then you have a right to vote. Because now a bunch of idiots that want to see the country fail, that are complete fucking nihilists and brainwashed, have the same right as you, who wants to continue your country. You want your country to continue and to flourish and to be a place where you can raise children, and for there to be standards and morals amongst the people. You're sick and tired of this secular garbage. I think that could be a solution. Military service. because then a lot of people who are weak will not have the right to vote. But it is what it is. Like we'll just have to see what happens.
That she knows. And yet we're still carrying on with the fiction that 2016 feminism has anything productive to say about anything.
A lot of these people, they're virtue signaling idiots. They live in their little bubbles. They live in their little communities. Because a lot of these like liberals, they have material wealth. They live in such a state where they don't really have to interact with these migrants. They don't have to interact with the common people, the poors, if that makes sense. So yeah, just bring in all the migrants, but no. Don't bring them to my neighborhood and my daily life. No. That's kind of what's sick about this shit.
Ever. And that it's just men that are the problem, and they're not.
People just vote for this shit, but some of them don't even see the fucking damage it does because they have full blinders on. They don't interact like the common people do with them.
I don't know, different kinds of men that actually have different opinions on women in general. So anyway, the point being, the British state is the enemy of England.
But for YouTube, I think that like immigration can be good if properly done, if properly integrated. If they don't come in such great numbers that they can't integrate properly and they create parallel societies and all that shit, I think there could be a benefit for the country if smart people come in and make a change.
And the English people. They're basically just outright declaring themselves at this point. They're just saying, yep, no, we hate you. We are going to bring in child rapists to rape your children. And then when you protest, we are going to bring in counter-protesters, and we are going to let our thugs off the leash to smash your faces in and run you down when you protest. And we are going to make sure that our counter-protesters are there to try to morally browbeat you and tell you that you are the bad people in all of this. So just saying.
It was a long time ago I watched something. It said that we live in a totalitarian system. We live actually in a totalitarian system.
When we win, don't forget any of this.
Damn. Let's check some comments. Let's read what the people have to say. Not allowing foreign men to rape our women and children is extreme far-right behavior. Police picked a side. They don't police by consent anymore. British residents. We never ask for our homeland to be turned into the dumping ground of the third world. Government of Britain. That's because we never intended to ask you lowly peasants. In Canada, just today, an Indian migrant was given a lighter sentence for solicitation of sex from a minor. Lighter, because the judge said it would hurt his citizenship chances. Talk about that, if you will. Holy shit. Oh, bro, what the fuck is happening? Like, I'm telling you, bro, the West is continuing to fall more and more. The thing is, you look at all this shit, how the fuck can you, like, not take action? Like, I would highly recommend to start some fucking combat sports. Or just be physically capable of defending yourself, protecting yourself and your family, your children, whatever you have, to protect that, to have the physical capability. Because this shit, like, the thing is, the world is just going to continue to get more and more violent. And the entire fucking fabric of society is going to start to shatter slowly. It's going to, like, erode. Oh, man. How far Britain has fallen. Canada, fuck. The second we call them asylum seekers, we have lost the moral argument. This is the language of anti-whiteism. Using their terminology legitimizes their ideology. Block the food delivery trucks to the illegal hotels. British states are smuggling in Afghans. You can't make this up. Yeah, I saw that there was like a leak. It was like some kind of data leak or some shit, and they spent how many billions, um, like relocating like Afghans and shit. Hmm. Europe is for Europeans. No more brother wars. Hmm. At this point, I am convinced that Carl is going to return from holiday at the head of an army. You do not hate the government enough. The best form of protest is a mass non-payment of council tax. Would collapse the court system if 10 million people stop paying. That's for yeah. That's kind of like a fantasy. That will never happen. The British police should be disbanded and a new force built from scratch with a whole new team and leadership. It's rotten to the bone. Hmm. The police busted the far right in and then it kicked off. The police started the violence in the first place. A doctor slash engineer in the UK struck a baby on stairs and was dealt with by a crowd of natives. People are beginning to have enough. Hmm. Wasn't there like a dude who was recently he was threatened with a knife while having a stroller. He had a baby with him in a stroller and he was threatened with a knife. Like what the fuck? Anyway, boys, I hope you guys got something out of this. I catch you boys on the next one. Take care of yourself. Stay safe.